Okay, so today we're going to hit up those East Gwillimbury stats. We're going to do a year-over-year review. We'll look at what happened in August 2022, August 2023, and then we'll have a look at the month before in July 23 as well, just to give you an overall trend of what's happening. So we'll start at the top. Number of sales across all home types in EG was 42 a year ago, 36 in July 23, currently trending at 32. So this is kind of normal from what I'm looking at the towns, at least that I do these updates for. We can see that there has been a slight decrease in the amount of sales. Average sale price across all home types a year ago in East Gwillimbury was $1,276,000. That climbed in July 23 to $1,400,000, currently trending at $1,370,000. Now, the thing you have to remember about East Gwillimbury and most towns in York region is that, especially a space like that, East Gwillimbury comprised of 4 different towns for one. Also, there's lots of subdivision, high density building. There's also farms. There's also some multi-residential, like in terms of condos, and then there's also going to be mansions and high dollar homes as well, and so that's going to pull that number around as well. But from what I'm seeing, East Gwillimbury actually, in terms of average sale price, faring pretty good month over month in comparison to some of the other towns. SNLR is the sales to new listings ratio. As realtors, we refer to it as the absorption rate. It tells us out of the homes coming on the market, what's the percentage of selling. So when you hear, it's a buyer's market or it's a seller's market, this is actually what we're referring to. So in August 22, 47% of the homes that came on the market sold in EG. In July 23, 36% of the homes that came on the market sold. So, that's telling us that there's, 60%-ish that, or 64% that weren't selling, right? So to put it another way, in August 23, we had 40% of the homes that came on the market sold. So about 60% not selling. So if you're seeing those signs in your area, you're like, because I talk to people every day and they're like, man, I've seen that house up for sale forever. And that's why. I mean, we got, at this point, around 60% of the houses that are coming on the market each month not selling. So that's going to build our inventory unless those houses get pulled off the market, right? Months of inventory remaining tells us that if no other homes come on the market after today at the current rate of buying or current rate of consumption, how long would it take to deplete the inventory? So a year ago, we had 2.5 months of inventory, 3.3 months of inventory remaining in July 23, currently trending at 3.8. So we're seeing sales have come down. We're seeing that inventory starting to lift a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what the September numbers hold. Generally, September can be a little slow for the first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, we start to see the market lift a little bit as people get back into that routine. Kids are back in school. If they were looking, they can get back into it, or if they were holding off looking to buy and sell, it's something that they get back into the swing of things now that we're sort of back in that process, right? Sale price to list price ratio, homes selling 96% of asking a year ago, 100% of asking in July, currently trending at 98. So we are starting to see homes come down below asking. In many cases, we're seeing less holding of offers. So if you've watched my previous videos, I'm not a big fan of the intentional underpricing of a home. As an example, putting it on at $899, but the seller is expecting 1.1. I find that really disruptive to the market and confusing, but the reality is that strategy works, which is why we predominantly see it. But that said, we are seeing a little bit less of that. We're starting to see homes just come out with a more intentional price to the market. We're starting to see some really surprising sales. It's like, every week I'm looking at solds and I'm going, holy cow, I can't believe it actually sold for that. And I'm talking, I not that I thought it would sell more. I thought it would sell more, but it's actually selling less. So there are some good opportunities out there, buyers. And from a seller side, a lot of sellers are kind of sitting with their hands in their pocket going, well, we're going to wait. But the reality is predominantly we buy and sell in the same market. So whatever you gain from one, you're gonna gain from the other as well. So you just have to pick which market that you want to actually transact in. Days on market to get a home sold, 24 a year ago, 22 in July, currently trending, let me move my body, currently trending at 22, so holding steady. And again, you have to bear in mind that the days on market counter is only representative of that home, what it took to sell under that current listing. So if that home had been sold 3 or 4 or 5 times before, that's not going to necessarily show there. If you have any questions about this or about how it would pertain to your particular home, feel free to reach out to me, and I will see you next time.